Well, everybody, I wanted to thank all the new members that have been joining the Trashy Junk Journal group because it's growing quite quickly and we're all having so much fun. And I love the posts that you're putting in there and the different pictures of your different work. And I especially want to welcome the ones who, for the first time, are trying this form of art of making these journals out of their trash and the junk that they have. And from some of the posts that I've read, there's been a few questions. Um, some feel a little overwhelmed because there's so much to choose from out there. And so I thought I would just make a real quick video to let those that aren't quite sure what kind of supplies they need or they should buy or are necessary. Well, the fun thing, as far as I'm concerned, this is just my personal opinion, that doing this type of journaling is the most inexpensive way to really express yourself artistically. And you don't need a lot of supplies, especially if you're just beginning. You don't want to rush out and buy, the latest colors of paint and the latest papers and the latest everything, because I will tell you, I'm very new to this actually myself. I've only been doing this for maybe not quite 2 years, and I got kind of excited and I thought I was going to need all of these things, and ultimately my go-to things are just very, very simple things. Now, as far as these journals are concerned, the main things we're going to need, and like I say, they're very simple. You're going to need some kind of adhesive, whatever you like to use. Whether it is Mod Podge or just regular glue, tacky glue, glue sticks. It really depends on what you prefer. If I'm going to be doing any type of cardboard of this type, I prefer the tacky glue. It seems to adhere a lot better, and I'll use it if I'm going to use any kind of cardboard. If I'm going to use papers out of a magazine, then I prefer to use this, because the less water in your glue is, it's going to stop it from making all that warping that happens. And this is about the cheapest way. There's other glues out there that don't have as much water, but this is probably the cheapest and most readily available, and you probably already have it at home. So as far as adhering anything into your journals, you don't, you could do everything with this if that's all you had, because you want to try making one. I would try making one with what I have before I go out and buy anything. If you do it and you go, hey, I really like this stuff, then you can go out and expand on your supplies. Then after everything is glued in, what I like to do, I come in and I put a base color on everything. That's just me, because I like color. A few of my journals, what I did, I would just cover it with some kind of a light color. Whether it's a beige or a white or a cream or something, I would do that. I say that because a lot of people will put gesso on it. Again, if you're just starting, you don't have to run out and go get your gesso. You just need to prime it with something. Remember, this isn't going to be fine art. You're just making a trashy journal. So you can go ahead and find these small ones like this, pretty much anywhere, and as little as $1, some as cheap as 49 cents. So I would say just get something like that. Or if you had household paint that you have left over, I have lots of household paint, and that's just acrylic paint. And if you just want to water it down a little bit, use that. So if you have small craft paints or leftover house paint, interior latex, acrylic, you can use that too. Now, as far as the colors that I like to put on, like I say, I like bright colors. And I am really partial to all of these neons. Now, the neons, I think they run like about $1.29 where I live. If you go and get them at Michael's or Joann's. You can always get them on the coupon, and you get them a lot cheaper. But they're cheap as it is. But again, it's not a big investment. And then some other colors that I really enjoy using are any of these metallics, and they come in a lot of colors. And these two, I think, are like $1.49. So if you just get regular colors like these, you can get them as cheap as 49 cents. So we're talking about maybe getting a glue stick, getting one or two colors of paint if you don't already have any, and you are pretty much set. That and your trash can, and you are ready to go. Some things I might do just to change it up a little bit, I might staple something. And most people have, you know, a staple in their home. So those are basically what you need to get started. Plus your junk mail, if you have magazines, whatever, you know, is going to be tossed out. I have a sample of some things that I'm going to make a journal, and I'll show the process of this journal to you. Of course, we know this came from a hamburger. I had limes in this. This is some packaging from Martha Stewart. French fries, more French fries, so you know too much about me already. And this is some packaging. This is from Seven Gypsies. Junk mail, mail that came from Swaps, food, wrapped meat, coffee, some paper bags. I like the tops to the tea. I think they're so cute, so I saved those. Some more junk mail. When I'm doing different paintings, if I have paint left over, I just get a regular piece of copy paper and, you know, put it on there so that I can use it later. So I can use a couple of those, or if you have jelly prints, you can use that too. And then this is to a bag of chips. I'll use that on top on my cover, and then a used manila envelope. And so that's what I'm going to try to incorporate. I don't know if I'll put everything in it, but I'm going to try and incorporate in that. So these are things that almost all of you have. You have envelopes. You may or may not get junk food. You can start saving those, and chips and envelopes. And that's pretty much it. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to, first of all, what I like to do with, I'm going to use this basically as the front and the back of the journal. And this, what I'm going to do is, because it's really, I find it difficult to glue this down on anything. I know a few of you have said that you use the double stick tape, and that probably works just fine. I just don't happen to have any. So what I like to do, I like to sew a lot of things. So I'm going to sew this to create the cover, and then we'll come back and we will start putting this together, and I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I sewed this on here, and again, the reason why I sewed it is because the kind of glues that I have, this really doesn't stick real well to it, so I went ahead and glued that in. Now, the other trash that I had, I put them into two different signatures. They're smaller signatures, but you know, once they're all put together, then you'll probably fill them up with a lot of stuff. So you can start off small. This particular one, I got the bag from the limes, and I cut the top part off just so I could have this section, and sewed it in there, and that can give me a little pocket. And then I just put the rest of these in here. No particular reason why I put them in any particular place. Just because that'll be one signature. And then this will be another one. got this out of the Burpee catalog. And this will be another signature. So I am going to, now you can do the pamphlet stitch on here. There's many videos that show how to do that. I have one there on my channel. And also, if you're in the group, if you go over to the files, there is a file dedicated to videos of how to make these trash journals, and also some flips of some that are completed. So feel free to go over there and check that out. And so what I'm going to go do right now is I'm just going to, with the sewing machine, I'm just going to sew down here and sew down the other one. That's just my personal preference. You can do it by hand with the pamphlet stitch, or you can do it with the machine. So I'll be right back. Alrighty, these should be dry. It's been about 20 minutes or so. And let's see. Yeah, that's pretty good. And so now this is very substantial because it's got, you know, this thicker type of cardboard. And so then it just opens up like that. And here's where we did the other gluing together. It's a little stiff because it is that stiff cardboard, but it'll work. And then I forgot to put that in, so that will now go inside the little pocket. And we're all set to go. Now the next stage is totally up to you. Because I like color, even if I'm going to, you know, pretty much cover the whole page with some kind of collage, I still come in, usually, and do whatever painting I want to do. And I just flop it on and swish it around with a credit card. And that's the way I do it. You can also, if you want to leave it blank, you know, you can start to write on it, or you can collage on it, and then whatever's left over, if you want some added color, then you can come in and fill in the gaps. So what I'm going to do is, Oh, also, I was going to mention, also, I have a bunch of scraps of pieces of napkin. So I think what I'm going to do here in this inside cover is fill that in with some of those napkins, and maybe, just maybe, this one too. I'll see what I'm moved to do. So, here we go. So this is what we have done so far. I sewed in the front. In here I just decoupaged some scraps of some napkins. And then I started painting some of the pages. And some I leave, like here, I'm not sure what I'll do here. Maybe I'll come back and paint it, not sure, but I left it plain. And the majority of the pages, I left that. When I make brew my tea, I sit the bags on paper, and it leaves those neat designs. So I'm going to leave that the way it is. And like I mentioned before, I like the bright colors, obviously. And these are not just only bright, they're also the neon colors that I spoke about before. But then once I collage on them and different things, it tones everything down. But I like the backdrop. Here again, not sure what I'll do with this. Back. This page, I just put some more napkins because it's still a little too soft, but it was real soft, and this was harder. I might have to do something else to that. Not sure yet. I left this. I thought I would do some writing on that as is. And I also put the napkins here in the back. So just real briefly, for those that are new to all of this fun stuff, let me pick, let's pick any color. Put something here, like that. And real quick, I'll just show you what I mean when I say that I just do it with a credit card. And the reason I like to do it, it's fast and it leaves a very thin coat, and so it dries very quickly. You can get a lot put down and dries very quickly. So it's just the way I like to do it. But if you prefer with a brush, if that's what works for you, do what works for you. I'm just too lazy. Because this really is a lot quicker. And then I think I'll add a different color. Just to add a little interest and show you that there are no rules. You just do whatever you want to do. That is the fun part. I know sometimes when you're new at something, you feel like you need to do it, quote unquote, the right way. But when it comes to this, there is no wrong way. There's no right way. Your way is the way you should do it. And the only way you're going to know what you like doing is by experimenting. I mean, you're not wasting anything. Even your time you're not wasting because you're learning. You're using trash, so that's not expensive. If you go buy these inexpensive supplies that I mentioned at the beginning, you're not even wasting money. So just look at it all as a learning experience and have fun. And you won't regret it. You'll really enjoy it. And you'll learn to relax and let art be fun. You know, because if you're getting all stressed out, what is really the point of doing it? When you have a hobby, it should be relaxing for you. So don't get stressed out about it. Just have some fun. Okay, I gotta put a splash of neon or I won't be happy. You know I've got to do it. Okay, let's put some right here. And then I'll be a happy camper. There you go. And so now, if you enjoy drawing, you can start drawing on here. If you like doing collage, you can start putting some collage on. It's whatever you want to use, or if you just want to write in it. Now it just becomes a writing journal for you. Whatever you decide to do, that's what it is. There are so many different journals out there, I can't even keep track of all the names to these various types of journals. So I refuse to call my journal any one particular thing, and I don't do any one particular thing in my journals. I put in there what I personally like. So I hope you can do the same. I hope this has answered a few of the questions that you may have. And if you have more, well, we'll go ahead and answer those too. Don't be shy, because we're all learning together. All of us are always learning something new and enjoying every minute of it. So try this, give it a try, see if you like it, and you will have yourself a really enjoyable time doing it your way with your stuff and your memories. So be sure and post some pictures in the group of some of the work that you've done. And again, if you have any questions, feel free to ask the questions. There's more than enough advice there because there's a lot of experienced and talented people there that have already, been busy in this kind of art. So feel free to ask questions and they will answer. I hope it's given you some ideas. Thanks.